It's the level up season. We are finally answering our calling. We are walking in our purpose. We are finally stepping into abundance, into peace, love, and happiness. Hello everybody, my name is Togo. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are talking about habits that I had to let go in order to level up, in order to live the life that I was destined to live, in order to become my dream woman, in order to become the person that I've always known myself to be. Like I said on one of my previous videos, that as much as there are things that we have to start doing that are going to help you to, change your life for the better, there are things that you also need to let go, things that might have been holding you back from becoming the person that you were destined to be. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I came to realize that I had to let go, I had to stop doing, because those were the things that were holding me back from becoming the woman that I wanted to become. Those were the things that were holding me back from living the life that I know deep down inside that I was destined to live. We're going to be talking about those things while I am doing this makeup look. So I hope you enjoy that, and I also hope that you can also relate and you can also take stock of the things that you do, things that might be holding you back from becoming the person that you want to become and from living the life that you want to live. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'm not going to go into much detail about the products that I'm going to be using because we are having a chat about a specific topic. However, I'm going to leave all the products that I'm going to be using in the description box, so you can definitely check that out. If you have any questions about the product that I'm using, you can definitely leave your question down in the comment section. I'll definitely answer your question. Let's get started with this makeup. So the first habit that I had to let go was negative self-talk. I didn't even realize that I was having a problem with that, because I thought that I've worked on myself when it comes to that. But negative self-talk can come in many different forms. It doesn't always come in a way where you are talking negatively about your physical self. You can also be talking negatively about your intellectual self. You can also be talking negatively about your spiritual self, your emotional self, and all of that. So what I realized was that I was talking negatively about my intellectual self. How I realized that I was actually doing that to myself was that one day when we were actually getting ready to go to work and school, when we were on the way to school, that's when I realized that I forgot my laptop at home. So when I made that realization that I forgot my laptop at home, I got so frustrated with myself. That's when I started saying, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I forgot my laptop. It was actually my daughter that said to me, no, you are not stupid. That doesn't mean that you are stupid. It just means that you forgot it. She realized that that is not the right thing to say. That is not the right thing to do, to talk that negatively about yourself. So that's when I actually started to think, oh wow, I've been doing that to myself. I've been saying, all those negative things about myself, and that just made me realize that I need to stop that, because that's not the woman that I want to be. Someone who talks down on themselves, someone who thinks, such negative things about themselves. And it's definitely true that, our thoughts influence our feelings. What we think influence how we feel. So if I think negative things about myself, if I think those things about myself, that is definitely going to affect how I feel about myself. I realized that I really need to be conscious about that and stop saying those negative things about myself. Instead of me, saying those negative things about myself, let me rather identify my shortcomings, because when I say let's stop this negative talk about ourselves, I'm not saying that we should ignore our shortcomings, we should ignore the things that we want to change about, ourselves, because that's how we improve, that's how we become better people. It's part of the journey, it's part of, becoming our best selves, that we will identify things that we don't like about ourselves, we will identify those shortcomings. But now, like I'm saying, instead of talking down on ourselves, let's rather come up with a plan on how we can improve those specific areas. When you realize that there are things that you don't know, there are skills that you might not have that you want to have in order to improve your life, start doing things that are going to change that, things that are going to improve those things that you want to improve about yourself, instead of talking down on yourself. The next thing that I realized that I had to let go was self-doubt. I didn't think that this is something that I was still struggling with up until I really did a deep introspection, where I was asking myself a lot of different questions about my life, basically the things that were happening in my life, the things that I was doing and the things that I was not doing. One of the things that I realized when I was doing that introspection was that part of the reason why I wasn't doing the things that I had been saying that I wanted to do for a long time, deep down, I didn't really believe that I was capable of doing those things. I did not really wholeheartedly believe in myself. That was the reason why I hadn't done the things that I said I wanted to do. So I realized that if I really wanted to level up, if I really wanted to change my life, I really have to wholeheartedly believe that the things that I say I want to do with my life, that I can actually do those things. One of the things that helped me in terms of, getting rid of that self-doubt, I look back at the things that I've accomplished. I look back at the things that I've achieved on my own, by myself, and think to myself, I did that. I really did that on my own, by myself. So now I do that. I use that as a reference now. I use that as a reminder now of, where I've come from, how far I've come, all the things that I've managed to accomplish. And then I tell myself that what would stop me now from accomplishing the rest of the things that I want to accomplish for myself? If I was able to accomplish all the things that I've already accomplished, what would stop me? Why would I now start doubting myself? Because I've done so much. I believe that I've done so much already for myself. That is what has been helping me. Whenever those thoughts start creeping in, I just tell myself that, okay, if, for example, I start to doubt myself because there's something that, I'm not sure about, or something that I haven't done before, I just tell myself that I will get the information that will make me to become better at whatever it is that, I'm struggling with. At the end of the day, the only way we can improve, like I said, is that we become aware of the things that we need to improve about ourselves, and then we improve. Just because at that point in time there's something that I'm not really that confident about, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. It just means that I need to upskill myself, get whatever information it is that I need to get in order for me to feel like I am confident in whatever it is that I'm doing. Because again, confidence comes with competence. If you are competent in whatever it is that you are doing, that's where your confidence is going to come from, because you know that you've prepared yourself. You know that you have the information or the skills that you need in that particular subject or in that particular area. That is where your confidence is going to come from. Whenever I start doubting myself, I ask myself, why am I doubting myself in this area? And then only to find out that I don't have enough experience, or I don't have enough information about that particular thing. So from that point on, then I start learning. I upskill myself so that I can become competent in that specific area, and that's where my confidence is going to come from. The next thing that I had to let go is laziness and procrastination. I came to the realization that one of the other reasons why I hadn't done the things that I wanted to do was nothing but laziness and procrastination. When I really sat down with myself and asked myself, why haven't I done 1, 2, and 3? I couldn't come up with any other answer besides the fact that I had just been lazy and I've just been procrastinating. There was nothing that I could pinpoint to myself, that was the reason why I hadn't done those things. So I came to the realization that actually I've been lazy, I've been making excuses. So I had to work on that laziness, work on, becoming more disciplined and making sure that whatever it is that I said I was going to do, I stick to that. I get up and I do it. And I came to the realization that the people that were doing, big things about their lives, people that were changing or are changing their lives, they are not doing those things purely out of motivation. Sometimes you don't feel motivated, you don't feel inspired, you don't feel like doing any of those things. But that is where now, you have to become disciplined. That is the thing that is going to make you to be able to get up and do it. You're not always going to feel motivated, you're not always going to feel inspired to do something. It's just that you have to get up and do it. So I came to that realization that the people that are doing it for themselves, they are disciplined. The next thing that I realized that I had to let go was I had a very strong masculine energy. And at some point in my life, I wanted to have that strong masculine energy. I wanted to be like that. I think I was just maybe trying to protect myself in certain situations. So I was intentional about it at some point in my life, especially when I was younger, growing up. There's a lot of things that you go through as a young adult. That's just how I carried myself, with this very strong masculine energy. I think maybe I was just trying to push people away or make sure that people don't come close to me. I thought that was helping me, and it did. It did help me in that sense that I was not easily approachable because of that masculine energy that I was exuding at that time in my life. But now, as I grew older and wanted certain things for myself, I started realizing that exuding that type of energy is not really something that I want for myself, for the woman that I want to become. So I had to go back and reverse all of that, because I realized that the type of woman that I want to become is somebody that is soft, somebody that is open, somebody that is a nurturer, somebody that is open to receiving, open to receiving love, open to receiving all these beautiful things that I wanted to receive. And I'm not saying that if you have a strong masculine energy, you can't receive all those things that you wanted to receive. Maybe for other people, but for me specifically, I realized that the type of a person that I wanted to be is not that person, because I became very closed off. I became somebody that was not easily approachable, like I said, and that's not the type of a person that I wanted to become at this point in my life. I wanted to be somebody that was softer, more feminine, somebody that is affectionate, because I realized that I became so hard like that because I had such a strong masculine energy that I was even finding it difficult to just be affectionate, with the people that I love. Knowing the type of a person that I wanted to become, that is one thing that I realized that I had to let go. And knowing the type of relationship that I wanted to be in as well, I realized that I'm not going to get that type of a relationship if I am still exuding, this strong masculine energy. I knew that if I wanted change, I have to work on it. So I did that. The next thing that I had to do is I had to let go of people and certain relationships that were not good for me. Relationships that were holding me back and that were making me feel like I wasn't the person that I wanted to become. Last year was a very difficult year for me because I knew that I was accepting things that were not aligned with the person that I wanted to become. I knew I was accepting treatment that was less than the treatment that I believe that I deserve. Sometimes we do that as women because we are so invested. We end up, accepting things that we know deep down inside that they are less than what we deserve. I realized that things are never going to get better, things are never going to change, and it was up to me to get out of that situation. And it was the most difficult thing I ever had to do. Honestly speaking, it was so difficult to come to that decision that I need to remove myself from this situation. I had to ask myself very difficult questions. Questions like, you keep saying you love yourself. If you love yourself so much, then why are you accepting such kind of treatment? Is it because you don't believe that, there's something better out there? Is it because you don't believe that you deserve better treatment? Those are the types of questions that I had to ask myself. I had to accept the fact that I was selling myself short. The things that I was accepting were unacceptable, really. And I had to prove to myself that I really love myself the way that I've been preaching that I love myself. Because at that stage, I was really questioning it myself, that do you really love yourself if this is the type of treatment that you are accepting? I had to remove myself from that situation. As much as I was sure, but it was still very difficult because, like I said, I was very invested in that situation. I wanted it to work out. I loved that person, I really did, and I wanted it to work out so badly. So it wasn't an easy decision, it wasn't an easy thing to do. However, like I'm saying, that I knew that if I wanted to change my life, or if I wanted to live the life that I want for myself, I knew that I had to let go of that situation, because it was not contributing in me living the life that I wanted to live. It was not contributing in me becoming the person that I wanted to become. In fact, it was doing the exact opposite. It was dragging me down. That's how I knew that if I wanted to live the life that I've been saying that I wanted to live, I had to let go of that situation. It was not going to get me there. Take stock of the people that you have around you, and if those people are not helping you to become the person that you want to become, if they're in fact pulling you down, then you know what you need to do. You know what you gotta do. Alright, I did my lashes and my eyeliner off camera so that we can speed this thing up a little bit. Now, the next thing that I realized that I had to let go. I had to let go of self-care guilt. Oh my God, if you know, you know. As women, as mothers especially, our lives revolve around taking care of others. That's just what we do. That's how we are conditioned, that we are the givers, we are the nurturers, we are the ones that are taking care of others. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what becomes a problem is when we are not taking care of ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean that you only have to have somebody there that will take care of you. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is something that is very nice to have, but you don't need to wait for somebody to take care of you. You also have to make sure that you take care of yourself. I don't know what is it that caused me to feel guilty whenever I wanted to do something nice for myself, whenever I needed to, take care of myself, basically, even with things that are really necessary, things that I really needed. I would feel guilty whenever I, take some time off for myself, just to sit down and not do anything. I even felt guilty of resting. I was not really resting, because even when I was resting physically, there would always be that thought at the back of my mind that, I could be doing something else. I'm just wasting time. Me just sitting around doing nothing is wasting time, and I would feel guilty about that, because when you are taking care of a household and you have a career, you have a full-time job, you have so many things that you are doing, you are a mother, there's always something to do. You can never run out of things to do. So there's always something to do. So I guess that's why I always felt guilty whenever I am taking time out for myself, that there's always something that needs to be done. It came to a point where I realized that I have no reason to feel guilty about any of that. I mean, I do so much for other people, not even for other people, even for myself. I work I have a full-time job, I am taking care of a household, I am raising a child, I am doing so many things, you know, with my life. I'm always busy, I'm always doing something. And it came to a point where I realized that I have to take time for myself. I have to take care of myself. I have to rest, really. And when I'm saying I'm resting, I need to be resting for real. I need to be resting both physically as well as mentally, so that I can get that strength to carry on, so that I can get that strength to carry on doing the things that I know that I should be doing if I want to level up, if I want to improve my life. So I have now let go of that. It came to a point where I even felt guilty of buying myself something nice, you know, spoiling myself with something after working so hard, and I wanted to spoil myself with something. But then again, there will always be that feeling of guilt at the back of my mind. I prioritize caring for other people, but when it comes to myself, I have a problem. And I thought to myself, this can't be. This cannot be. I have to be okay with, you know, taking time out for myself. I have to be okay with doing things, nice things for myself. I'm not saying that you should spend your money recklessly and just do things haphazardly, and that's not at all what I'm saying. But when there's an opportunity to take care of yourself, do something nice for yourself, do that without feeling guilty, because you deserve it. At the end of the day, you deserve nice things, you deserve to rest, you deserve to be taken care of. At the end of the day, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself up so that you can be able to take care of the people that you're supposed to take care of. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, in any way, shape or form that you feel like you need to take care of yourself. Let go of that guilt that you might be having about taking care of yourself or taking some time out to do something nice for yourself. Because as for me, I want to be that woman who rests. I want to be that woman who is not always, you know, grinding and grinding and grinding. I want to live that type of a life where I can be able to take some time out, rest, relax, do the things that I enjoy, do the things that I want to do, not only the things that I have to do. That's the type of a life that I want to live. Alright, those are the things that I wanted to share with you, things that I came to realize that I had to let go if I wanted to level up, if I wanted to become the person that I wanted to become and live the life that I want to live. So if you found this video to be helpful or relatable, or if you think that it can help somebody, please do share it. Give it a thumbs up so that you can reach as many people as possible, because over here we like to empower women in general. I want all of us to level up. I don't want anybody to be left behind. I want all of us to grow together, to help each other grow and become the best versions of ourselves. So if you want to become part of that, do click that subscribe button. We definitely love to have you over, and I will see you on the next video.